Jacob, my servant's sake, and Israel, mine elect. I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not known.
Taking over blocks.
Level up, gotta get it right, don't look back, repent and level up. Ain't never let a hard time crumble us, always humbled us.
Jacob, my
Lord
servant's
tries
sake,
of Israel rising up,
and
say the
Israel,
most high for sure,
mine
defending
elect.
us. Over there your whole
I have
time cutting
even
heaters
called
up.
thee by
Ain't
thy
telling
name.
no lies, I just
I have
leveled up.
surnamed thee, though thou hast not known.
To you, we wait. Level up, gotta get it right, don't look back, repent and level up. Ain't never let a hard time crumble us, always humbled us. Lord tries of Israel rising up,
and
say the
Israel,
most high for sure,
mine
defending us. Over there your whole
I
time
have
cutting
even
heaters
called
up.
thee by thy
Ain't telling
name.
no lies, I just
I have
leveled up.
surnamed thee, though thou hast not known.
To you, we wait. Level up, gotta get it right, don't look back, repent and level up. Ain't never let a hard time crumble us, always humbled us.
My
Lord
servant's
tries
sake,
of Israel rising up,
and
say the
Israel,
most high for sure,
mine
defending
elect.
us. Over there your whole
I
time
have
cutting
even
heaters
called
up.
thee by
Ain't
thy
telling
name.
no lies, I just
I have
leveled up.
surnamed thee, though thou hast not known.
To you, we wait.
Taking over blocks. Sinister. Your minister is sinister. He tried to tell you Christ is white. That ain't biblical. Cynical. Your minister is cynical. He told you not to keep the law. That ain't spiritual. Sinister. Your minister is sinister. He tried to tell you Christ is white. That ain't biblical. Cynical. Your minister is cynical. He told you not to keep the law. That ain't spiritual. Miracle. Sinister. Do you believe in miracles? Pastor said just sow a seed, you won't be pitiful. Heresy. That sickness is transmittable. He left some faggots in the church cause he put that ain't spiritual. Sinister. Your minister is sinister. He tried to tell you Christ is white. That ain't biblical. Political. Pastor need to stop it. Pass out of pocket. Yeah. Pass out the spirit. Missed by the chariots. Hit by the rockets. We didn't cut his prophets. Cause he was cut by the prophets. Yeah. It was hid from the old. But the babes unlocked it. His only concern is what's in your wallet. The pastor is done. Jerusalem's home. That's capital one. The fruits of the spirit and he ain't got none. Rebuking the devil and he is his son. How can Satan cast out Satan? Stop faking passed out lady. Catholic priests playing like they sheep and they keep putting their mouth on babies. Sinister. Your minister is sinister. He tried to tell you Christ is white. That ain't biblical. Cynical. Your minister is cynical. He told you not to keep the law. That ain't spiritual. Sinister. Your minister is sinister. He tried to tell you Christ is white. That ain't biblical. Cynical. Your minister is cynical. He told you not to keep the law. That ain't spiritual. Creflo Dollar. TDJ. I think they crazy. They want your dollar. They'll take your payment. I think they lazy. They need a whooping. Need to give up the ghost. Patrick Swayze. Gotta pay for the teaching. Got a buck for your ears. Just like Brady. They rapping as wolves. And they fit the description. The word is the meds. They won't take their prescription. I'ma pull out my sword. If I catch one lacking. Boom, boom. Pastor lost his mind. He done bumped his head. Put him in a straight jacket. Pastor refused to separate darkness from light. Separate day from night. Separate wrong from right. It won't be long for Christ. It won't be long, it won't be long. and save the upright. He coming, he coming, he coming, he coming. Nigga, them flames gon' ignite. Sinister. Your minister is sinister. He tried to tell you Christ is white. That ain't biblical. Cynical. Your minister is cynical. He told you not to keep the law. That ain't spiritual. Sinister. Your minister is sinister. He tried to tell you Christ is white. That ain't biblical. Cynical. Your minister is cynical. He told you not to keep the law. That ain't spiritual.
Shalom, Maki, what's going on?
Man, Shalom, Hebrew, how you doing, bro?
Man, all praise to the Most High, man. I'm posted up. What's the word? What we doing?
Man, first and foremost, all praise to the Most High for blessing the city of Memphis, man. How you feel about hitting these streets and getting some souls for the Most High?
All praises to y'all. You know how I feel, bro. I'm already ready, man. I'm suited and booted and strapped up. Let's go.
Say less, I'm on the way, King.
Riding through my city, looking for lost souls, we got work to do. Riding through my city, looking for lost souls, we got work to do. Riding through my city, looking for lost souls, we got work to do. Riding through my city, looking for lost souls, we got work to do. Riding through my city, looking for lost souls, we got work to do. Riding through my city, looking for lost souls, we got work to do. Riding through my city, looking for lost souls, we got work to do. Riding through my city, looking for lost souls, we got work to do.
Well, what do you know? I open my eyes, I see the sunshine, it's time to pray. Glory to the Father, cause things getting harder in these last days. Hopped up out the bed, I brushed my teeth, freshened up, then found a fit. Ate some quick, pack my books in bags, now it's time to split. Hit the I.S.A.A.C, talked about some places I feel we should hit.
Let's hit the hood, King, same place your house I taught and hit the city.
Say no more, through the hood we bout to go. Waking up our people, we them Hebrews and they need to know. Book posters and some more, plus plenty scriptures I can show. Anything that we can do to help our brothers and sisters grow. Tell me where them pastors at, cause I ain't seen a change yet. Singing, lying, dancing, and we still ain't seen no goals met. My brother's soul be on the line, I'm blocking lies like a goalkeeper. The Father law stay on my mind, now that there is a goalkeeper. The God I serve is an oath keeper. The words he spit really moves people. Riding through my city, best believe we gon' find them true believers. Yeah.
Riding through my city, looking for lost souls, we got work to do. Riding through my city, looking for lost souls, we got work to do. Riding through my city, looking for lost souls, we got work to do. Riding through my city, looking for lost souls, we got work to do. Riding through my city, looking for lost souls, we got work to do. Riding through my city, looking for lost souls, we got work to do. Riding through my city, looking for lost souls, we got work to do. Riding through my city, looking for lost souls, we got work to do.
All work, no sleep, gird up, repeat. We play, 4 keeps. We come to talk to the lost sheep, and we see that you won't. Only the truth prove you wrong. Brew wide, too strong, making them fold. Futons, see us riding through the city. It's a soul out here need saving, then we out here trying to get it. Just the people about repentance. We about the Father's business. My brothers out in Memphis, and we set these streets on fire. 2nd chapter, Zephaniah. All work and no play. We speak the bow way. So real role play, no way. Jose 2 shots, no chase. Block hot, cold case. Idols, gotta throw away. All facts and no lies. No more, just a nice guy. Got my sword and my shield, especially at nighttime. Having brew-outs, as it's written, we here at the right time. This is a test of endurance. This is the patience of the saints. Most high power give us power. We got work to do in this hour, so we
riding through my city, looking for lost souls, we got work to do. Riding through my city, looking for lost souls, we got work to do. Riding through my city, looking for lost souls, we got work to do. Riding through my city, looking for lost souls, we got work to do. Riding through my city, looking for lost souls, we got work to do. Riding through my city, looking for lost souls, we got work to do. Riding through my city, looking for lost souls, we got work to do. Riding through my city, looking for lost souls, we got work to do.
virgin clone, we keep it long.
AD, line them up.
Yeah. Twin, 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 J-N-E, friend. I know who I am. Twin, 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 J-N-E, friend. I know who I am. That's my twin, but our looks don't look identical. We call it fraternal, cuz them genetics in the blood. From dope boy to an Israelite, I call that a miracle. Waking up to 12 trying, situations critical. Back to back with my twin, we in camp, not in sin. Ain't no mixing with heathen, that's not biblical. That's a bet, I'm all in. I'm like Paul, that's my king. And we base it off your father, we don't base it off your skin. You looking at me like I said something wrong. I'm not Cleo, but I'm about to set it off. If I got a message, I'ma put it in a song. You can tell your mama, better yet go tell her phone. Christ said if you seen him, then you seen the Father. My twin and I are one. You can't break a dollar. Used to be a Tyler in the truth, boy, we off the baller. Why them heathen raging? Yeah, they raging when they hear me holler. Twin, 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 J-N-E, friend. I know who I am. Twin, 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 J-N-E, friend. I know who I am.
I'm a Christian, but not Christian. Follow Christ, not the religion. Drafted in, no more division. Fruit of the spirit, that's your tuition. The teacher taught me, now I'm fishing. Christ died for us, now he risen. Honor thy brother, that's the vision. Esau, father of perdition. Salt of the earth, I'm matching my color. 2-6 Jones and call us brothers. 2nd Ezra 14:13, you should set that house in order. Remember the blood from the Passover. We going street preaching when class is over. Ain't done until the task is over.
Twin, 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 J-N-E, friend. I know who I am. Twin, 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 J-N-E, friend. I know who I am.
Most High, you're
Surely Yahweh, you're there when I need you. Can it just me in your world? I believe you. Nothing make a son feel better than instruction to flee from the ways of the sin and destruction. His law's been in here and forever. You crazy, you can read, but you're too lazy. All the while I'm nothing. He hear me through the words that he was spoken. That's why I keep these laws daily, bro, no frontin'. Even as a castaway, you were there by my side and said, son, it'll be okay. Now that's real to a nigga like Trina, as they say. Never ever turn my back on my brother and keep it tight, alright? And we gon' walk these laws as they was given. Though hand join the hand, they won't be forgiven. Word life, you don't need a ring to be his wife. Just keep all his laws and he gon' make your way. Be living in a life of number righteousness. Ain't gotta worry about no hating or no shiftiness. So repent and turn away from all you did, cause his hand's still out to give. Oh yeah, how?
I prayed to you, and it was plain to see the law is what's best for me. Lord, thank you for my child, even though these times are wild. For you, the song was inspired in the good book you required in.
God, the all nation I desire, here to show for the watchman of Isaac. It's time for some closure. No itch behind you, now face the exposure. Esau is the devil of the Bible, he ain't kosher. He flew from the land of north to go port. Now surround us in the hood, selling Israel them Newports. Yeah, it be true, he on top, that's how it is. But we up next, we got your kids. We your masters to come and cash it, cause you some bastards. Overdid it all in laughter. Please don't wanna hear it, I'm talking period. It's very vivid, no hugs and kisses and birthday wishes. No shrimp, no crab legs or catfishing. No American pie or no class pictures. But just a judgment and we gon' love it. The most high the king and then there's none above it. All praise.
That's why the Bible says in Revelations 11, it said, when you begin to wake up, great fear. When you stood up on your feet, the Bible said, great fear fell upon them, upon all them that saw you. They scared.
Oh no, you gonna prepare to meet God. Give me Amos 9 and 10. You finna meet God. Yeah, you right, that's my God. He ain't your God. You don't know who you worship. You give me Amos 9 and 10. You give me John 4:22. That's been a piece of rebuking up in here.
He deceived you long enough. He told you that Jesus is a white man and Jesus is a black man according to the Bible.
That's right.
Jesus looked just like you. Yeah, we ain't worrying about that either. Because we got guns too. We are destroyed as a people. We are destroyed. That's why Christ found himself. He found, walking on water and turning 2 fish and 5 loaves and feed. We could do stuff like that. We are the gods of the earth. But now we're just mere men. Right? We're just mere men, but we're going back to that state. We're going back to the state of being gods. And it's our job. I'm like a coach. That's why I holler and I fuss. Because that's what a good coach would do. I was given a commission, the brother was given a commission, you were given a commission to get the team ready. Every brother in here, you were given a commandment from the Most High to get the team ready. You need to get them ready. Get them ready. Whatever it takes. Motivation. You know what I'm saying? Keep your brother or sister in the fight. Keep them in the fight. She's about to give up. You ain't giving up, not on my watch. You're not giving up. Come on, let me hold your hand. Let's walk together. Same thing for the sisters. And that's one thing we want to talk this evening to the sisters about, is about that very thing. These are very troubling times, and we got to be there for one another. Con? Is we on? All praises. The lesson today is entitled Property of the State. State property. State property. This is what Israel is. We are state property. State property. We were the property of the Most High until he sold us. He sold us to the highest bidder. He sold us to the worst of the worst when we broke his law. Let's start. Give me Deuteronomy 32. I got some information to bring. I want to give y'all this information. I don't have too many precepts. I got a few precepts, and I got some information to share. Deuteronomy 32. Let's start right there. Deuteronomy 32. Start at verse 30. State property. We are state property. You are not your own. We are state property. And we're going to show you that. We're going to show you how you are state property. Your wife is property of the state. Your children are state property. You got that? Read verse 30.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, starting at verse 30.
Read.
How shall one chase 1,000?
How shall one chase 1,000 Israelites? Read.
And two put 10,000 to flight.
How can two of these devils put 10,000 of Israelites to flight or kill them? Come on.
Except their rock.
Except their rock.
Had sold them.
Except their rock had what?
Sold them.
Had sold them. Read.
And the Lord had shut them up.
And the Lord has shut them up. Read that one more time.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 32, starting at verse 30.
Well, let it sink in. State property. We are the property of the state. Somebody else owns us. He sold us. Our rock sold us into slavery. And he not only sold us, but he sold us to the worst of the heathen. You are not your own. This is the redeeming process of being bought back. Read.
How should one chase 1,000?
How should one devil, Edomite, chase 1,000 of us? Come on.
And two put 10.
Hold on.
It's a lot, you can't off what you said. This is the worst of the worst devil. But he said he was going to do that to us in the curses. Let me give one precept. Deuteronomy 28 and 50. He said he was going to do this to us. How evil can you be if you're doing this? 28 and 50.
The book of Deuteronomy. Oh, you want to wait?
No, go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, starting at verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance.
He said, I'm going to send to you. Matter of fact, start at verse 49.
Verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far. From the end of the earth.
From the end of the earth, go ahead.
As swift as the eagle flies.
As swift as the eagle flies. We know what they represent. Go ahead.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
A nation whose tongue you ain't going to understand them. Go ahead, verse 50.
A nation of fierce countenance.
A nation of fierce countenance. Go ahead.
Which shall not regard the person of old.
They ain't going to regard, man, just because this person walking slow and they can barely stand up. They not going to regard that. You got to be a monster. You got to be a monster of a nation, a monster of a person, where you ain't going to regard somebody who can't even move quick, who can barely stand up on their own. He said, they ain't going to regard the person of the old. Go ahead.
Nor show favor to the young.
They ain't going to even show favor to the little babies. This is the type of nation we got sold to, but it was our fault. Oh, yeah, King.
Oh, praise it. We are in the possession of the worst of the worst because our rock sold us. On that note, give me Ezekiel 7 and 24. This is the worst of the worst of the worst. Read verse 23. 22, I'm sorry. Slocky, 22.
7 and 22.
Mm-hmm.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 7, starting at verse 22.
Read.
My face will I turn also from them.
Because we broke the commandments. Read.
And they shall pollute my secret place.
Read.
For the robbers shall enter into it and defile it.
Read.
Make a change.
Uh-huh.
For the land is full of bloody crime.
Uh-huh.
And the city is full of violence.
Read.
Wherefore, I will bring the worst of the heathen.
See, for all this iniquity and sin that we did, the Most High said, I'm going to bring forth the what?
The worst of the heathen.
The worst of the heathen. Come on.
And they shall possess their houses.
And they shall possess their houses.
I will also make the pump of the strong to cease.
Read.
And their holy places shall be defiled.
And their holy places shall be defiled. All because of we broke the commandments of the Most High. He brought the worst. What King just read in Deuteronomy 28 and 50. The worst of the worst. Esau, we are in the possession of the worst of the heathen. Go to, I sent you something. I sent you something in the media chat. Let me see. I want to go to the screenshot. Okay. Give me chattel. Because that's the kind of slavery we were involved in. That's why our slavery is different than any other slavery. Our slavery was called a peculiar institution. It was called chattel slavery. What is the meaning of not just slavery, but chattel? Read the definition for that.
Chattel. Now.
And I want to show you that this is going on now. Some of us might say, no, slavery was in the past. No, slavery is still right now. Read that.
In general use, a personal possession.
In general use, a what?
A personal possession.
Chattel is personal possessions. Right? Read.
An item of property.
An item of property. Now, we just read in the scripture, the Most High said he sold us. Right? So when he sold us, somebody had to purchase us. Right? So now we're chattel. Not only are we chattel or possessions, we just read in Ezekiel that our houses are too. Our houses, everything you think you own is not yours. It's the property of the state. We just read that. Read it again. In general use, a personal possession. See, we still want. That's why it's important to be born again. When you go to jail, you receive a ID number. We're going to bring that out too. You receive an ID number, right? This ID number or tag identifies you within the penal system, right? You serve the time. What we didn't got so-called release from prison and think we free, still walking around with these identification numbers or last names. Right, last names, social security numbers. Proving that you're still the property, even though you've been so-called free from slave, you are still literally the property of somebody. You're the personal property of somebody. That's why I won't hear nothing from black folks about we free from slavery. No, you ain't. Your last name still John's son. You're still the son of John. You still walking around with an identification number. You're not free. You're a slave. Read it again.
In general use, a personal possession.
In general use, a personal possession. Come on.
Law, an item of property.
A what?
An item of property.
An item of property.
Other than real estate.
Other than real estate. Come on.
Noun, chattel personal.
Chattel personal.
Plural noun, chattels personal.
Come on.
Noun, chattel real.
Come on.
Plural noun, chattels real.
Now watch this as we continue on. The origin. Check out the origin. Give me that Latin. What's that Latin say?
Latin.
Now these are similar. This is how the word chattel evolved over time, right? Go ahead.
Latin. Caput, head.
Uh-huh.
Latin. Capital.
So
capitalist.
So caput, C-A-P, that's U-T, is in the same language as saying what? Personal property, right? Next, Latin, what they say?
Capitalist.
Capitalist. Doesn't America evolve its economy according to capital or a capitalist society? Which means this is undercover, this is modern day slavery. You are the possession of the state. Your house, car, you. The origin of the word, capitalist, come on down.
Medieval Latin.
Uh-huh.
Capital.
Same word, but just used in different terms in different dispensations of time. It still means personal property. Go to the next one. Old French.
Old French.
What do they say?
Chattel.
Chattel. So when you say a capitalist society, you're saying you're living in a society where the majority of the people are just personal property of the elite. That's what you're saying. Continue.
Old French, chattel. Chattel.
Chattel.
Middle English.
Middle English. Just want to set the basis with this, right? Give me Psalms 49 and 11. These are some old scriptures, well, some milk scriptures. Just keeping us in the mind frame of state property. Uh-huh. Read that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 49, starting at verse 11.
Uh-huh.
Their inward thoughts
is this is still speaking of the worst of the worst, the heathen. The heathen, the slave master, the capitalist, right? Read.
Their inward thought is
what?
That their houses shall continue forever.
And this is what America thinks. America thinks that America will survive and be around forever. They believe that this capitalist society will forever be around. You got something, King?
To laming back out what you just said, when you talk to these people, they always say stuff like, "I can't wait till America get back right to its former self." Like they truly believe that it's gonna be going back to the old. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's over for this place.
Mm-hmm. All praises. Read that.
Their inward thoughts is that their houses shall continue forever.
Read.
And their dwelling places to all generations.
Read. Now watch this.
They call their lands.
They call what?
Their land.
They call their lands
after their own name.
Their property. This is why we walking around with European last names and not European. We are personal chattel, personal slaves, state property or property of the state. You are not your own. And they called their lands after their own name. Right? Now, go back to the screenshots, because I don't have that much. Give me the ID. It should be up the DOC. And there's only certain parts I want to read off there. I don't want all that off there. But give me that first page.
Could you blow it up some for me? Let me. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. DOC inmate identification numbers. Go ahead. Read.
Hold on. We trying to find. Give us.
Okay. Hey, just read it from here, King.
I see it. I got it. All right. DOC inmate identification numbers.
Uh-huh.
Prisoner.
This is a person who has went to jail, and most of us have been to jail. This is prison. Go ahead.
Prisoner ID numbers.
Prisoner ID numbers
are similar.
Are what?
Are similar.
Read.
In some respects to Social Security numbers.
Boom. Keep reading.
As each number is assigned to just one person.
Boom. There we go again. Keep reading.
Inmate ID numbers are unique to each inmate.
Inmate ID numbers are unique. What? To each inmate. So your Social Security number or your prisoner identification number, because really we are still what? POWs. We are still prisoners of war. We ain't went home. We're still what? Literally prisoners of war. That's why you walking around with a prisoner ID number. You think you free. You ain't free. Keep reading that.
Which can help avoid mix-ups.
Which can help avoid mix-ups.
When two inmates share the same name.
You see that? Read.
Once assigned, the number will be printed on each inmate's individual prison identification card.
Prisoner identification card. That's your Social Security number. That's your Social Security card that you got to keep on you, right? You got to keep it on you. You got to keep your license on you. Your ID. Get pulled over. Please get pulled over without your driving license. You in prison. You got to identify yourself to the state. Go ahead real quick, King. Mm-hmm. Hey, give him a mic. I want everybody at home to hear everything going on. Hold on. Yeah, and we're gonna start getting a mic guy who can take the mic around. Go ahead.
Yeah. When you get your inmate identification number, the first two letters in that identification identifies if you are a male or a female. Normally, it's going to be a 01 or 02. The next 2 or 3 digits indicates when you got arrested, the year you got arrested, and then the rest of them is just random numbers that they give you. So yeah, that's how they identify you according to the numbers.
Oh, praise it. Pastor King right here. Eminem.
Okay. What's going on, y'all? Hey, you know it ain't nothing new up under the sun, right?
All praise.
It's just another form of slave papers.
Right.
When you got pulled over in those times.
Right.
If you didn't have those papers on you, what did they do to you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're looking at modern day slavery.
That's right.
It's another form. Now, only difference is they can't physically kill you, even though they can still kill you lawfully. You know what I'm saying? But you cannot at any point in time in this journey be caught without your slave papers on you.
All praises. We are literally enslaved. We are a part of a capitalistic society, meaning we are chattel. So that's why class is so beautiful, because we're learning these things now. Now we know, when you hear the politicians talk about we're a capitalist society, you can read behind the lines. You know, when you start hearing stuff like states' rights, what is states' right? What do the states want rights to? You! They want the right to do what they want to do with their personal chattel. Right? Is there any more on that?
Come
on.
As well as on paperwork related to his or her incarceration.
Related to his or her incarceration. Give me the other slide. The next page. We broke the commandments. This is why it's very important for us to keep the commandments. Let me look at that. Find an inmate. Go up. Take that one back. I don't want them. What that one say? Okay, hold that one. I don't want that one yet. Give me Matthew 17. You think you free. Christ told you ain't free. You think you free. You run around with your bank account and able to move around and go buy McDonald's and Wonder Bread at will. I'm free. We ain't free to do what we want. No, you ain't free. If you believe the Bible, you know you ain't free. You still a slave. Read verse 24. Christ was a slave. That's why the Bible says it behooved him to be made what? Like unto his brothers. So if we were slaves under a capitalistic society, he was a slave too. He told you this. Read that. What did Christ say? What did I say?
The book of Matthew, chapter 17, verse 24. And when they were come to Capernaum, they that received the tribute.
They that received taxes, because tribute is tax money. They that received tax money.
Tribute money came to Peter and said, doeth not your master pay tribute?
Doeth not Christ pay taxes? Come on.
He said yes.
What did he say? Yes.
And when he was come into the house, Jesus prevented him.
Now watch the language. That's why I want to read slowly and understand what's going on. Watch the language of Christ and the mindset of our master. Read.
Jesus prevented him, saying.
He prevented him, saying, hold on now. Saying what?
What thinkest thou, Simon?
What you think about that, Simon? Read.
Of whom do the kings of the earth take custom or tribute?
Stop. First of all, there's always a hierarchy in any system. There's leaders, kings and queens, and there's what we call peasants or servants. Understand that thing. In every society. So what is so surprising when the Israelites are teaching on the corners that you're going to be my slave? I'm your slave now. What thinkest thou, Simon, of this? Christ had to school him. Read.
Of whom do the kings of the earth take custom of tribute?
The elite of the earth. Who do they take taxes from? The people. Do you think the elite is sitting around paying taxes? Hell no. You think the elite, the real kings of the earth, you think they around here shopping at Kroger's like we do? You think they shopping off Amazon? You think the kings and the elite around here checking their mailbox? You think they working? He's schooling Peter. What thinkest thou, Simon? Of whom do the kings of the earth pay custom or tax money from? Question. Read.
Of their own children?
Of their own children?
Or of strangers?
Or of strangers. That's a question. Who are they taxing? Their own family members? Or are they taxing the peasants? Keep reading.
Peter said unto him, of strangers.
Peter, you right. Of strangers, Peter said. Watch this.
I.S.A.A.C said unto him.
Watch this.
Then are the children free.
Then when are the children of Israel free? Question. Now get on the mic. When are the children of Israel free?
When the children of the strangers or the strangers pay tribute.
When we say on the mic.
When we no longer have to pay another nation.
When we no longer have to pay another nation, when we no longer have to pay taxes. Right. Then are we free. Now watch Christ in verse 27. All praise to the Most High. Then are the children free. So you ain't free. You are state property. You are owned. Yeah, of course, there are some slaves that cost a little bit more money. There are some slaves that got a little bit more education. There's some slaves that got a little bit more back, can pick up a little bit heavier things. There's some slaves that got a little bit more intellect than others. But we're still what? Slaves. We're chattel. We are personal property. Read verse 27.
Verse 27.
Notwithstanding.
Lest we should offend them.
Stop right there. We're going to get that in our minds. Christ didn't want you offending the heathens. Why should we?
Go thou to the sea.
Least we should offend them. What?
Go thou to the sea.
Pay your taxes. Obey the ruling authorities. Read.
And cast an hook, and take up the fish.
Come on.
That first cometh up.
Come on.
And when thou hast opened his mouth, thou shalt find a piece of money.
Thou shalt find a piece of what?
Of money.
Of money.
That take and give unto them for me and thee.
Go and take this money out the fish mouth and go give it to them. At least we offend them. Because we slaves, Peter. Somebody own us. We are chattel, Peter. The kings own us. But I have come to set you free. Whom the Son sets free is what? Free indeed. So I'm coming to free you, but right now, at least we offend these folks. Go and get a hook and open that fish mouth up and get that piece of money out of there and go take it to the king, which at that time were the Romans. Pay them the money for me and for you.
Hey, Salaki, King, I just shared a video, Ezra, if you can pull that video up in the media chat. I was just looking off of something you just said. It brought it back to my remembrance to put it out. It's something that Kanye said. Now, the higher you up, the more information you will have about how the world operates and what's really going on. And, you know, people be thinking this man crazy and everything like that, but he really telling you how things work. Like he said, there's a hierarchy here of how things are run in the world. So when you get to that video, I want you to start at about 7 minutes and 45 seconds or something like that. And he gonna tell you how this thing go. He gonna tell you exactly how it go. The hierarchy. Now go to 7:45. Right there, that's fine. Go ahead.
I love you both.
No, you gotta get over. Hey, sorry. Come down, please. God runs the world. Then under that, you got 1,000-year-old families, Medici. Under that, you have
Stop right there.
The Pope.
So he said, God run the world. But he said, under that, you have 1,000-year-old families. And you don't hear about the Medici a lot. Now, you hear about the Rothschild, and you hear about the Rockefellers, but you don't hear about the Medicis. You never... look, these folks that's up there, you know, he been up there with some of the top dogs. He was rubbing elbows with other billionaires. He was a billionaire. He said, man, and then, you know, go back and watch this video too. I just put it in the chat. But he talk about how Jay-Z and them be rubbing elbows. He said, I know Jay-Z and them sitting back, talking about this nigga finna die now. He said, no, I ain't finna die. God got me. But take it back a little bit more, Salaki King. But he said, to 7:45. But just to point that out, he said, man, God ruled the world. He said, but man, under that, man, you got the 1,000-year families, the Medicis. And then he gonna tell you who come up under them, and then he gonna tell you who come up under them. Check them out. Go ahead.
Okay, be quiet for a second. Don't scream for a second.
I love you both.
No, you gotta get over. Hey, sorry. Come down, please. God runs the world. Then under that, you got 1,000-year-old families, Medici. Under that, you have the Vatican, the Pope. Under that, you have the financial groups that control all your shit. BlackRock, Vanguard. After that, you have Putin. You have Trump. You have all this shit. And after that, you got what all this shit is. Entertainment. Hollywood. Take that, run that back, run into schools. I'm going to give y'all one last thing before I go. When I first put the tweet up, I was dealing with a divorce lawyer.
That's it on that. But he's showing you, man, look, he said the Medicis, and then he said under the Medicis, what did he say? You got the Vatican. And under the Vatican, then you got the bankers. They control all your stuff. You the state property. They control all your stuff. But we always thought, okay, the bankers was the ones ruling the world. Man, this man just told you it was folks above the bankers, the Vatican. And then the Vatican, we knew the Vatican would run the world, but we didn't know, man, them 1,000-year-old families that intermarry with each other and marry other rich and wealthy families are above them. It's 2 levels above these bankers, man. And we know them bankers, you know, they a part of the KZRs and all this stuff too. But under the bankers, he said right up under them, now you got Putin and Trump. He said your presidents ain't more powerful than these 3 that he just named. Your presidents, right? Then he said up under your presidents, he said you got us, Hollywood, entertainment. We got power over the people. But go, that's all a couple hands. Go ahead. Salaki, can pass it back. Go ahead.
Ken, I just want to say this. The Federal Reserve note, which is on your money, who prints your money, is actually owned by a family.
Right.
It's a family that owns that company that prints your money.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that being said, Caesar Borgia will fall into the Pope category because he was the son of the Pope.
Right. See, what a lot of people don't know about the Medici family, they were a very, very powerful family. But Caesar Borgia, him and the Borgia family was beefing with them. They was beefing with the Medicis. And then they kind of overthrew them a little bit for a small amount of time. They still in power. But that's why they popped their son face up where everybody worshiping right now. They worshiping their idol, their son. They will beef. These families, man, is running everything. Go ahead, you had your hand up too? No. Who had their hand up? I saw somebody else had their hand up. I think that's it. But passing it back to you, Ken, I just wanted to point that out off of what you said. There's a hierarchy here, and this thing deeper than what you can imagine. But go ahead.
Have y'all ever heard useless eaters? You ever heard of that? Like they call us useless eaters. Like a pyramid scheme. You got the folks at the top, and then you got the at the bottom. And a lot of people are always at the bottom. Like the people that depend on the government not pushing, bringing nothing, getting nothing back. Like like welfare, Social Security, disability, and most of our people at the bottom in need. So they call us usually eaters. They also got a bad diet, all that type of stuff. Like right now, the store across the street. You know what I'm saying? So like in the hood, when you see all these stores, these bad stores, you can go in there, you can see all these bad food. They call us useless eaters. They give us the bad of everything. Well, not even just the pork season. I'm just saying, like, even the food that we eat, they're supposed to be clean. Like you go there, like the stuff is outdated, all that stuff. Yeah, the chicken brown, even Fred said about drinking that wine way different from like a normal liquor store. They call us the useless eaters.
Right. Just to show you there's nobody above the king but God. Give me Daniel 6. See, we looking at the president like he the man, like he really making moves. Now, he ain't making no move. He controlled by the king. When Christ says, who do the kings of the earth take tribute and custom? So Christ letting you know there's nothing above the king except God. So those families that he mentioned are not only they are families, but another word you can use is the kingdoms. They're a kingdom. It's kingship. Read verse 7. Matter of fact, go verse 4.
The book of Daniel, chapter 6, starting at verse 4. Then the presidents and princes sought to find occasion against Daniel concerning the kingdom, but they could find none occasion nor fault. For as much
matter of fact, read verse 7, Salakia.
Verse 7. All the presidents of the kingdom.
All the presidents of the kingdom.
The governors. And the
princesses.
The counselors. And the
captains.
Have consulted together.
And all those are leaders, come on.
To establish a royal statute and to make a firm decree that whosoever shall ask a petition of any god or man for 30 days, save of thee, O king.
O who?
O king.
O king.
He shall be cast into the den of lions.
So just to show you, presidents, governors, princes, counselors, captains, all who are in rulership are under that king or that kingdom or that superior family. Con? I go back. Give me Lamentations 5. verse 1. We are property, chattel. We're trying to get out of this state. We can't keep walking around naive thinking we free. We are property. Somebody owns us. So that dispels the notion of these so-called Black Lives Matter and all these so-called black groups talking about we're free. No, you're not free. As long as you are under a capitalistic system or democracy or economy, you are chattel. You got that for me? Lamentations? Read verse 1, 5 and 1.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 5, starting at verse 1.
Come on.
Remember, O Lord.
Remember, O Father.
What has come upon us.
Come on.
Consider, and behold our reproach.
Come on.
Our inheritance is turned to strangers.
Our inheritance have been turned to strangers. What is our inheritance, King? The earth. And everything in it. Right, get there real quick.
Second Ezra 7. Wait, keep on reading on this, John.
Oh, go ahead and read some more of that.
Our inheritance is turned to strangers.
Our inheritance is turned to strangers.
Our houses.
Houses to aliens. Come on.
Aliens. We are orphans.
We are orphans.
And fatherless.
Fatherless.
Our mothers are widows.
Our mothers are as widows.
We have drunken our water for money.
You pay money for your water. The king don't do that. He don't pay nothing for water. Damn. We have drunken our water for money. Every month you pay a water bill. You ain't free. Read.
Our wood is sold unto us.
You buy wood. You got to buy your house. Anything made out of wood, you got to go and purchase it. Go ahead.
So it said right here, it said, we have drunken our water for money. So it really just saying that we paying for our own stuff. And it said, our wood is sold unto us. So we actually buying our own stuff. So what he just proved right here, what the scripture just proved right here, that this world made for us. But we broke the commandments of God. So guess what? The Most High put us in this position. Give me second Ezra 7, verse 10.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 7, starting at verse 10. And I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion.
He said, even so is Israel's portion. Keep going.
Because for their sakes I made the world. Because for their sakes I made the world. And when Adam...
He said, because for their sakes I made the world. So he made everything for us, for our sake. But we broke the laws of God. Now we buying our own water. We buying our own wood. We buying everything of our own. Everything on this earth belongs to us. But guess what? We brought the laws of God. Guess what? We subject to all this right here on this earth.
Oh, praise it. Give me that video on taxation. For those of us who paying taxes. Christ was right. We wrong. You paying taxes, you are a slave. We are chattel. Somebody owns us. The same way we gonna own them one day, somebody own us. You are not your own. Now to break it down in lower standards, play that video on taxation. Anytime we gotta go get insurance just to get healed. You chattel. We are chattel.
And if you ain't got insurance, they gonna give you some Tylenol. They gonna send you clean up out of there.
Send you on up out of there. Taxation. Go ahead.
Liberty Hangout.
Here's Joe. Joe was born a slave on a plantation. Joe would go into the field each day doing hard labor. But Joe wasn't allowed to keep all of his earnings. Joe had to give them to his master, or he would be whipped. Joe wasn't happy with this, but the other slaves on the plantation told him that it was for the general good of the plantation. They said that the cotton taken from him ran the plantation, so it was okay. He gave his master cotton, and his master gave him food, clothes, and shelter. Joe was forced to comply with his master's whims, and his master justified this by saying that since it is his plantation, he had to follow their rules. Joe sensed that this was not right. Joe acknowledged that it is logically inconsistent for someone to own another human being. Joe acknowledged that he owned himself and that no one has a right to forcefully coerce him to do their bidding. When he told this to the other slaves, they told him that if he didn't like it there, he should leave and move to another plantation. While the other slaves had a strong trust for their masters, Joe didn't, and he knew what was going on. Some slaves sympathized with Joe's reasoning. However, they couldn't imagine a world without slavery. They believed that in the absence of slavery, the world would turn into chaos. But Joe knew that it wouldn't. Joe knew that freedom wasn't chaos. He knew that it was slavery that was chaos. He knew that it was slavery that produced violence, whippings, and lynchings. Now what happens if we use this story and just change some of the words?
Watch this.
Do the principles change, or do they remain the same? You decide. Here's Joe. Joe was born a citizen of a country. Joe would go to work each day doing hard labor. But Joe wasn't allowed to keep all of his earnings. Joe had to give them to his government, or he would be thrown in jail. Joe wasn't happy with this, but the other citizens in the country told him that it was for the general good of the country. They said that the taxes taken from him ran the country, so it was okay. He gave his government his money, and his government gave him roads, infrastructure, and courts. Joe was forced to comply with his government's whims, and his government justified this by saying that since it was their country, he had to follow their laws. Joe sensed that this wasn't right. Joe acknowledged that it is logically inconsistent for someone to own another human being. Joe acknowledged that he owned himself and that no one has a right to forcefully coerce him to do their bidding. When he told this to the other citizens, they told him that if he didn't like it there, he should leave and move to another country. While the other citizens had a strong trust for their government, Joe didn't, and he knew what was going on. Some citizens sympathized with Joe's reasoning. However, they couldn't imagine living in a world without government. They believed that in the absence of government, the world would turn to chaos. But Joe knew it wouldn't. Joe knew that freedom wasn't chaos. He knew that it was government that was chaos. He knew that it was government that produced violence, bombings, and war. Now ask yourself, after watching this video, would you agree that taxation is slavery? What is the difference between Joe in the first story and the second story?
Stop right there. Get it? Good. Give me Deuteronomy 28:30. We are chattel. We are slaves. Give me verse 32. 28:32. See, we did this to ourselves. This is why we got to keep the commandments. Don't get mad at the brother when they say keep the commandments. Don't get mad when somebody tell you to keep the commandments and live. This is why we in this position. This is why we are sold as slaves. Right? Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, starting at verse 32.
Come on.
Thy sons and thy daughters.
Thy who?
Thy sons and thy daughters.
Thy who?
Thy sons and thy daughters.
Sons and daughters.
Shall be given unto another people.
Why? Because you're a chattel. You're a property of the state. Oh, yeah. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given to another people.
In thine eyes.
And what?
In thine eyes.
And your eyes.
Shall look.
Shall look.
And fail.
And fail.
With longing
for them.
All the day long.
All the day long. Here's my favorite part right here. Read.
And there shall be no might in thine hand.
This proves that we are the Israelites. Let me show you something. Give me the next video. We are chattel. This ain't just happening in 2023. This been going on. Your mama was in a position of losing you. Her mama was in a position of losing her. Fathers were in a position of losing their children. Play that. We chattel. It's best to wake up to it, to understand where you are, to get this wisdom, get this understanding. Then we can move differently. Understand what Christ is saying, right? Play that. We got to stop playing out here, Israelites. We got to stop playing. Is your child state property? Let's find out.
To my door saying I broke a law.
I didn't say you broke a law.
Can I see your badge?
Your badge is right here. Just it matches the car.
Anybody got children?
And I broke a law.
I didn't say you broke a law.
So why are the police here?
Again, for the fourth time, the police are here because of the fact I wish you get the camera out of my face.
You're at my door.
I know, but you don't. I would like.
What do you need? What do you need done?
What do you need?
What do you need done? Do you need to see the baby or not?
I need to see the baby.
Okay. He needs to see the child.
I see me to see the child.
All you gotta do is verify. He wants to verify.
Verify what?
He's telling
the child needs to go to the doctor also to be seen. That is what I'm telling you.
What doctor?
If not, his child.
Because
the child.
What hospital? What hospital? What hospital?
You go to Western Wake.
Did you ask me my religion? This is disrespectful. Did you ask me my religion?
I didn't ask you.
Did you ask me my beliefs?
I didn't ask you.
No, you just came to my door making threats.
I didn't make threats.
Do I have a right to practice my religious beliefs? Do I have a right to do that in America?
Stop.
I'm asking you a question. So why are you at my...
Bro, look. We're going to stop playing in a minute. We're going to stop playing in a minute. The Most High, the Bible says, then it should be known who are my chosen. They coming for our kids based on what you believe in. You're endangering the children. That's why you need to get off this Facebook bull crap. You done gave them your location. You putting up all these posts about you proud to be an Israelite, forgetting you got babies. They coming. Go back just a little bit and keep playing it. We're going to stop playing in a minute. It's going to get real out here.
Making threats.
I didn't make threats.
Do I have a right to practice my religious beliefs? Do I have a right to do that in America? I'm asking you a question. So why are you at my door?
Because I need to see the baby.
You need to see whose baby?
Your baby and Miss Stone's baby.
For what reasons?
Because of the fact...
Are you a doctor?
I'm not a doctor.
So why do you need to see the baby?
Because I'm with Child Protective Services. That's why I
Okay.
need to see your child.
All right.
Because it's a part of the job that I do.
For who? Who are you? For who? Who are you doing this job for?
Child Protective Services.
For who?
Stop.
For who?
It happened the same way in Egypt. They sent a brother. Most child protective people look like you. Taskmasters. And right behind him, the law. The state. State property. Play some more.
For who?
For Wake County. It's on my card.
For who? So I'm a property of Wake County?
Sir.
No, I'm asking you a question. Am I a property of Wake County?
You're not.
So who are you doing the service for?
I need to see the child because that's a part of my job.
Who are you doing the service for? Am I a property of Wake County?
I don't think you're a property of Wake County.
Okay, so if I'm not a property of Wake County, what do you need to see my child for? I am responsible for my child, ain't I?
I still need to see that child.
For what? Are you not a doctor?
You're right. So that's
You're not a doctor. What law is that? Can you cite that law?
You know.
Can you cite that? You said because of the law.
Right, because of the
They're the
fact that
law.
child.
Can you cite the law?
The child needs to be seen.
Can
The
you?
child needs to
What
be seen
law?
by a doctor.
What law is that?
The child needs to be seen by a
What
doctor.
law? You're at my door, right?
Right.
You're telling me what I have to do, right?
What I'm
Tell me the
telling you
law.
It's medical neglect. The child hasn't been seen.
What is the law?
Like I said, it's medical emergency based on the fact
What
of
is the
child.
statute? What is the law?
You know.
You're just saying something off your off the top of your head.
right.
I know I'm right.
So my thing is.
I know I'm right
I need to see
because
the
you know
child.
why I'm right. Do you know why I'm right?
Sure, you're gonna tell me. Why is that?
I don't need to tell. You're at my door, sir. I didn't come to you.
I know you didn't. I need to.
Why
see
am
the
I
child.
right?
I need to see the child.
Actually, why am I right? Because
He
I
ain't
know
left
the
yet.
law.
I need to see the child.
He's insistent. I gotta see that child, man. I ain't
need to see the
leaving here
child.
I don't
until I
care
see that
what you
baby.
mean. I'm not a property of Wake County, am I? Am I property? Am I state property?
Yeah, you state property.
Sir, we need to see the child.
You don't need to see anything because you're not a doctor.
Which is why the child.
Which is why what? You want to take me to court and I produce
That's
my
why you,
documentations of what I've done? Do you want to do that? All right then. Then you set those procedures. You present me with some paperwork.
You know.
You come back and present me with some
I need
paperwork.
to see the child. Leave the
Stop.
eyes on the child.
That's enough of that. This has happened to this generation. It happened to our parents. It happened to their parents. All the way back to slavery. When the Bible say, your sons and daughters shall be given to somebody else, Most High ain't mocked. He ain't mocked. You know one reason why we are state property? Give me the next article. Give me a child protective services. Is your child state property? You state property. Right there. Give me that right there. We are property. Somebody owns us. Somebody owns you. There are ways to get around this, and we got to understand how to do this. And all praises for our enemies who watching, who creeping in to spy our liberty. But guess what? We got a God. We got power on our side. Children are property, not is. Children are property of the what? State. Now, let's read a little bit of this.
Children are the property of the state by Jacob J. Hornberger.
Come on.
Americans everywhere were outraged at the Cuban diplomat's remark that Elaine Gonzalez is the property of the Cuban state.
Come on.
If only their outrage extended to their own homeland.
Watch this.
For more than 100 years.
How long?
100 years.
Come on.
Americans have lived under a system of state schooling.
State what?
Schooling.
State what?
Schooling.
Anybody here kids attend public schools? Anybody in here?
Yes, sir.
All praise. Anybody here kids receive government or state assistance? This is for our sisters online. You have signed the papers over. Keep reading.
Or, as it is commonly termed, public schooling.
Public school. Public school is another way of saying state school. Go ahead.
Under compulsory attendance law.
Oh, who?
Compulsory attendance law.
Come on.
The state requires.
The what?
The state requires.
The what?
The state requires.
State property. Requires what?
Parents to deliver their children.
Huh?
Parents to deliver their children.
Come on.
To a state institution to receive a state-approved education.
Stop. Are you state property? Are you state property? Anybody went to public school? Anybody got a public education? If your kid don't show, what happens? Are you state property? Are Are you state property? Yes. Yes. Yes, we are. No, whoa.
Hold up.
We gonna read that too?
Hey, hold up. Hey. You better say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Look.
Cause it's in here.
Even if you pull your child out of school,
right,
your child is still state property.
Right.
Why? Because they have to learn a state-sanctioned curriculum.
That's right.
And they gonna be tested
right.
on their curriculum
right.
that the state has provided.
Right. At home. State property.
State property.
Can't get away from it. We are in captivity.
Damn.
There's no way out of this. When the Most High said above your head gonna be what? Brass. Right. State property. I mean, they had some thing with my son where he had to sit in front of his computer and look at the teacher, and the teacher look at him. Stay in your house. We are property of somebody. Look, the same thing gonna happen when we in charge. When we in charge, if it's a nation or a people who ain't keeping our laws, the state coming. There's nothing. The state of Israel coming for them. We're coming for them. It's the same thing. Keep reading. The same thing. Somebody has to rule, and somebody got to serve. State property. This is what you need in a capitalistic society. Our society, our kingdom, the kingdom of Israel, will be sort of a capitalistic society. How's that? We are going to own the heathens for male and female slaves. So is that not a capitalistic society? It is. Go ahead.
The state requires parents to deliver their children to a state institution to receive a state-approved education from a state-approved school teacher, using state-approved textbooks and following a state-approved curriculum.
A state using state-approved textbooks and following a state-approved curriculum. X that off. Matter of fact, go all the way down. Let me see if I'm missing anything. Okay, that's it. I'll go to the next one. It's on a little bit more on there. But we're finding out we are property. We are chattel. You ain't free. We are owned. We are owned. Our children are owned. Go. Oh, yeah. You can read them right there.
Contrast this with the American people expressing outrage over the suggestion that children are the property of the state.
They express outrage. Our children ain't no property of the state. They was mad like us. Watch this.
Americans honestly believe that the public schooling is a feature of free enterprise or capitalism.
But they didn't understand the meaning and the origin of the word capitalism. It's chattel. Go ahead.
They block out of their minds that through public schooling, children are effectively made the property of the state right here at home.
Right here at home. We thought it was cool. You can go to school. You're gonna get the school clothes and pens and pencils, but we didn't know that we was owned the whole time. That your children are property of the state. Go ahead. Right. 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 Mm-hmm. 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 Go ahead.
Now, it's true that in recent years, homeschooling has made significant inroads.
Homeschooling has what?
has made insignificant inroads.
Oh, where you at? Insignificant. Okay, go ahead.
Into the state schooling system.
Uh-huh.
But what really matters is who wields ultimate control over the education of the child.
Right.
Even parents
who
homeschool their children.
Come on.
Are required.
Are what?
Are
required
to report to state education officials.
Right.
To secure official approval.
Right.
That they are educating their children in a correct manner.
In a correct manner. Go ahead.
Who in charge of saying what's correct? Them. Go ahead.
Right. Now, my last precept, give me Baruch. So we are state property. We can't run from it. Even on your job, you a slave on your job. You spend more time at work than you do at home. Your children spend more time in school than they do. We somebody own you. You can't leave. You can't say, well, I'm going to go to work. I think I'm going to leave at 12 today. You ain't doing that. You ain't leaving the plantation till the master say. Now, hold on real quick. On that note, give me Ephesians 6. Give me Ephesians 6. Right, unless you lie. And then if you don't work, you ain't going to eat. Oh, you going to work. Somebody own you. Mr. Charlie. Verse 5, 6 and 5, real quick. Somebody own us. We are chattel. Read it real quick.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 6, starting at verse 5.
Come on, real quick.
Servants, be obedient to them that are your masters.
This is what Paul meant. Now, was it? Now, think about this when you're reading this. In Paul's days, was there slavery like it was here in America? No, it wasn't. So what was he talking about? He was talking about the same thing Christ was talking about. There is a hierarchy. The kings and queens. They are the masters. We have to be obedient to what? The master. It says agree with our what? Adversary, which is your master quickly when thou be in the way with him. Christ says, go and get that money out of that fish mouth, lest we offend them. That's your master. Servants, what?
Servants, be obedient to them that are your masters.
Be obedient to your master. Come on.
According to the flesh. With fear and trembling.
Because we are state property. Come on.
In singleness of your heart.
Come on.
As unto Christ.
As unto Christ. Come on.
Not with eye service.
Not with eye service.
As man pleasers. But as the servants of Christ, doing the will of God from the heart.
Baruch 3, and I yield verse 8. We are state property. It's a tough pill to swallow. It went down sweet. We Israelites, woo! But it went down your belly. It was sour. It was bitter, cause you still you still a slave. With the fringes on. Yeah. We trying to get out of slavery. As Acts chapter 1, verse 3 says, will thou at this time establish the kingdom of Israel? No, not right now. But it's coming. Read that verse 8 real quick.
The book of Baruch, chapter 3, starting at verse 8.
Come on.
Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
In our captivity, come on.
But thou hast scattered us for a reproach.
For a reproach.
And a curse.
And a curse.
And to be subject to payment.
And to be subject to payment. You're going to pay what you weigh. Come on.
According to all the iniquities of our fathers.
Of our fathers.
Which departed from the Lord our God.
Come on.
Hear, Israel.
Hear, Israel.
The commandments of life.
Of what?
The commandments of life.
Read.
Give ear to understand wisdom.
Come on.
How happeneth it, Israel?
Come on.
That thou art in thine enemy's land.
How happeneth it, Israel, that thou art in thine enemy's land? Come on.
That thou art waxing old in a strange country.
Come on.
That thou art defiled with the dead.
Come on.
That thou art counted with them that go down into the grave.
That thou art counted with them that go down to the grave. Read.
Thou hast forsaken the fountain of wisdom.
Thou hast forsaken the fountain of wisdom. Come on.
For if thou hadst walked in the way of God, thou shouldst have dwelled in peace forever.
Thou would have listened to the Most High God. Thou would have dwelled in peace forever.
All praise to the Most High, man. Y'all brought out some excellent precepts, excellent information. Man, that's like you said, that's a hard pill to swallow. Hard pill to swallow. That, man, look, man, we property of the state. We property of the state, man. Ain't no way around it. You know, we can try to circumvent it all we want to, but it's all gonna circle right back around to the fact that, man, we in captivity. We in prison. This is a prison sentence for the Israelites. Give me Jeremiah 17. And he's talking about everybody had to go. Sure, yeah, you had some folks that was righteous in the eyes of the Most High. But guess what? Man, your family went, you had to go too. He judges individually and he judges as a whole. So everybody had to go. Jeremiah 17, start at verse 1.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 1.
Go ahead.
The sin of Judah is written with a pen of iron.
It says the sin of Judah is written with a pen of iron. That thing sealed. Go ahead.
And with the point of a diamond.
He said, and with the point of a diamond. He's talking about elements or minerals that are indestructible. He said, man, your sin is written in this. With the point of a diamond. Go ahead.
It is graven upon the table of their heart.
He said it's graven upon the table of their heart. It's on their mind. Sin is on their mind, on their inward parts. Go ahead.
And upon the horns of your altars.
He says, and upon the horns of your altars. Go ahead.
Whilst their children remember their altars.
He says, while their children remember their altars. Go ahead.
And their groves.
And their groves, because this is what we did. By what?
By the green trees. Upon the high hills.
By the green trees upon the high hills. We went against our God with this. Go ahead, verse 3.
Oh, my mountain.
Oh, my mountain.
In the field.
In the field. My mountain. Mountain is what? That's another word for nation. He said, oh, my mountain. Oh, my nation. Go ahead. In the field. Go ahead.
I will give thy substance and all thy treasures to the spoil.
So guess what? He said, I'm going to give your substance. I'm going to give all your treasures to the spoil. Everything that you got gonna be state property. Everything. Go ahead.
And thy high places for sin.
And thy high places for sin. Go ahead.
Throughout all thy borders.
Throughout all thy borders. Go ahead, verse 4. So was it just some righteous people didn't have to do that? Read verse 4.
Verse 4. And thou, even thyself.
And thou, even thyself.
Shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee.
You're going to discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. So this earth that was given to you, this land that you got, you're going to discontinue from that. All your substance going to the spoil. Go ahead.
And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
I'm going to cause you to serve your enemies in the land which thou knowest not. Go ahead.
For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever.
He said, you done pissed me off in so many words. You done ticked me off. Man, everything that you got belong to the state. Like you said, like Kaya brought out your children. Matter of fact, we going to use Laban metaphorically and show Laban as the state. Laban going to be the state in this next chapter, metaphorically. You can't get around that, man. Give me Genesis 31. You ever had like a heathen, right, at your job? They might be on the same level as you know, as ranking at your job, or you might be above them, but they just can't seem to stay out your business. Whoever dealt with that before? I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all done dealt with that before. These heathen just can't seem to get out your business, and it's a reason why. Because they believe in their mind, in their heart, that everything that you got is really theirs. Genesis, Karens and Darrens. Genesis 31 and 36. Go ahead, Op.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 31, verse 36.
Now, Laban, metaphorically in this chapter, is the state. And Jacob, that's us. Go ahead, verse 36.
Verse 36. And Jacob was wroth.
It said Jacob was wroth. We get mad. We get mad when we dealing with the state. Go ahead.
And chose with Laban.
And look, we child with the state. He chose with Laban. Go ahead.
And Jacob answered and said to Laban,
What did he say to the state?
What is my trespass?
Man, what you pulled me over for? What I do? This up, go ahead.
What is my sin?
Man, what did I do? Go ahead.
That thou hast so hotly pursued after me.
Man, you done hotly pursued after me. Man, you done made me get off the interstate, pulled me over. Man, what I do to you? Go ahead, verse 37. And it's called hot pursuit. You hear them on the little ghetto birds and on the intercom, whatever they got. They say, we in hot pursuit. Laban is the state. Jacob, he didn't. Go ahead.
And Jacob always speeding, bro.
He said, man, why you pursuing me so hotly, man? So he giving his complaint. Right? Go ahead, verse 37.
Verse 37. Whereas thou hast searched all my stuff.
Stop. Man, they come in your house with no knock warrants. And they come and search all your stuff. And we sit there and complain about it, talking about we got rights. You done came in, man. You ain't got no warrant, man. This is my rights, man. You searching my stuff. This is what we do. Jacob, we chiding with the state. We chiding with Laban. Keep going.
What hast thou found of all my household stuff?
He said, man, what you find? You ain't find nothing, man. We got brothers out here, man, the state that went in their house and searched their house. They said, man, what you find? What you find, Laban? What you find, state? Go ahead.
Set it here before my brethren.
He said, set it here before my brethren.
And thy brethren.
And thy brethren. Put it all out there. Go ahead.
That they may judge betwixt us both.
He said, that they may judge betwixt us both. Tell me what you found. But here we go. We're going to keep on pleading our cause to the state. Keep going, verse 38. We're going to complain about everything that we going through. Go ahead, verse 38.
38. This 20 years have I been with thee.
He said, man, I lived over here for 20 years, man. Metaphorically speaking. Go ahead.
Thou ewes and thy she-goats have not cast their young.
He said, man, thy ewes and thy she-goats have not cast their young, and what?
And the rams of thy flock have not eaten.
Man, I don't even eat read that again.
Have I not eaten?
He said, and the rams of thy flock have I not eaten. Man, I don't even eat like you. I lived over here 20 years. I'm in the ghetto. I'm in the hood. We complaining. To the state now. Now we getting this. We reading all this with context, but we getting to a point. He said, man, look, I ain't even eating like you, man. I ain't eating your young and the rams of that flock. Go ahead, verse 39.
Verse 39.
Still pleading your cause to the state. Let's see if the state give a damn about what you got to say. While you tell him you got right. I got rights. I got the First Amendment right. No, you don't, nigga. Them laws wasn't written for you. You gonna watch and see how the state reply to you. That's right. Read verse 39.
Verse 39. That which was torn of beasts I brought not unto thee.
He said, man, anything that was torn of beasts, man, I ain't bringing unto you. Go ahead.
I bear the loss of it.
He said, man, I took the loss of it. How many times y'all took a loss? Loss, citations, code enforcements, tickets, all these different things. He said, man, I took my loss. You still complaining to the state. You talking to the state right now. Jacob talking to Laban, which is the state. Go ahead.
Of my hands did thou require it.
Of my hands, you required it. Go ahead.
Whether stolen by day.
Whether stolen by day.
Or stolen by night.
Man, my car got stolen, man. The credit company don't care about that. It's still required of my hand. Whether it be through insurance money or some other means, I'm still required to give you that. He giving his complaint. Keep going. Verse 40.
Thus I was.
He said, thus I was. Go ahead.
And the day the drought consumed me.
Man, I go to work every day, man. I don't get in no trouble, man. I ain't did nothing. Man, the sun beating me down, man. It's consuming me. That's your complaint. Go ahead.
And the frost by night.
Man, the frost by night consumed me, man. I'm having a hard time paying my bills, man. The heat really ain't even on. Go ahead.
And my sleep departed from mine eyes.
And my sleep gone from my eyes. I can't get no rest. You complaining to the state about this. Go ahead, verse 41.
Thus have I been 20 years in thy house.
Man, I've been 20 years over here, man. Go ahead.
I served thee 14 years for thy 2 daughters.
He said, man, Jacob said, I served you 14 years for your 2 daughters. Go ahead.
And 6 years for thy cattle.
And 6 years for your cattle. Go ahead.
And thou hast changed my wages 10 times.
Man, you to change my wages 10 times. My men of wouldn't have had 10 different jobs in 2 years or less than a year. This is your complaint to the state with everything you going through. What I did, why you searching my stuff? I work hard, this, I got rights. Read verse 42.
Except the God of my father.
He said, except the God of my father.
The God of Abraham.
The God of Abraham.
And the fear of Isaac.
The fear of Isaac.
Had been with me.
Had been with me. That's many of us. Had the Most High not been with you, you would have been through booking. But keep going.
Surely thou hadst sent me away, now empty.
You would have sent me away, now empty. You still complaining to the state. If man, God with me, man, I got all these bills, but you know what? The Lord gonna make a way. Our people got faith. Lord gonna make a way. God taking care of me. You still complaining. Keep going. Not complaining, but pleading your cause. Go ahead.
God have seen my affliction and the labor of my hands.
He's seen my affliction and he's seen the labor of my hands. Go ahead.
And rebuked thee yesternight.
Yesternight. Now let's see, after you sat there and complained, not complained, but pleaded your call to the state about everything that you were doing. That's the reason why they don't pay no mind when you start talking about rights and all that kind of stuff when you talking to the police or anybody else. Let's see how the state gonna respond to you when you tell them how you feel. Read verse 43.
Verse 43. And Laban answered and said unto Jacob.
The state said to the Israelites what?
These are my daughters.
Daughters. Read that again.
These daughters are my daughters.
He said, these daughters, my daughters. Go ahead.
And these children are my children.
He said, these children, my children. Go ahead.
And these cattle are my cattle.
These cattle are my cattle. That's the mindset of the state. That's the mindset the mindset of the state, the mindset of these heathens. They say, man, them daughters, them my daughters. Them children, them my children. That's why everything you were pleading your cause about went right over the state head. Them my daughters. Them my children. That's my cattle. Go ahead.
And all that thou seest is mine.
All that you see is what?
Is mine.
He said, man, everything you see, that's mine. What you mean? What you mean why I pull you over? Nigga, you state property. I pulled you over because I own you. Stop playing. This is why you can't get out the car and walk up to the cop car after they pull you over and say, what you pulled me over for? Nah, nigga, you owned. Esau can do that. You can't do that. So he said, man, this cattle, them daughters, they my daughters. These children, they my children. They cattle, they mine. Everything you see is mine. Go ahead.
And what can I do this day unto these my daughters?
Man, what can I do today unto these my daughters? He letting you know, man, all this stuff is mine, bro. None of this stuff belong to you. You talking about what you've been through, but all that belong to me. Go ahead.
Or unto their children which they have born.
Or unto their children which they have born. See, what we got to understand, man, the Most High switched the roles. He reversed it. They the masters now because we broke the commandments of God. We used to be the rulers. We used to be the kings and the priests. We even had Hebrew servers ourselves. Go ahead.
And that's beautiful what you're bringing out because it switched because when we was keeping the commandments, the fear of us was before all nations. They feared us. They wouldn't come close to an Israelite. But when he showed us that fear that he had on us, in front of the nation, how they feared us, he took it away. Now they look at us, man, you ain't nothing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We gonna, man, look. You know what I'm saying? Everything you own is mine. That fear is not there no more because our power sold us. But we're slowly getting that back. Because the Bible says that they should lay in the streets of the city. How many days was that? In Revelations? They should lay in the streets of the city. Right, 3 days. And nobody shall suffer their bodies to be put in graves. And then they're going to start waking up. When they start waking up, what's going to be the condition of the nations? They're going to be afraid. So as we're waking up, that fear that we once had over everybody is slowly coming back, but we're still in their land.
All praise to the Most High. So when you looking at that, man, it was a switcheroo. It was a switcheroo. We was the masters. We was the masters. They were the servants. Like you got something?
I just want to hold it. Just back on you, what you were saying. Now you can finish what you were saying. And then I just get.
No, I'm finna pull a precept. Go ahead.
Okay. Give me Deuteronomy 12. Just to prove how it switched.
the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 12. The Lord shall open unto thee his good treasure.
So this is a blessing right here. It said the Lord shall open up to thee his good treasure. Keep going.
The heavens to give the rain unto thy land in his season.
He said the heaven to give the rain unto thy land in his season. Keep going.
And to bless all the work of thine hand.
He said, and to bless all the work of thine hand. Keep going.
And thou shalt lend unto many nations.
Guess what? If we keep the commands, guess what we doing? We lend it to other nations. Keep going.
And thou shalt not borrow.
And thou shalt not borrow. So we keeping the commands, we lend it to other nations, and we ain't even borrowing none from them. Keep going.
Verse 13. And the Lord shall make thee the head.
He said, and the Lord shall make thee the head. We got to keep the commandments. It said, and the Lord shall make thee the head. Keep going.
And not the tail.
And not the tail. Keep going.
And thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath.
So it said, and thou shalt not be beneath. Keep going.
If that thou hearken unto the commandments of the Lord thy God.
Now here go the condition right here. He said, for you to be the head, not the tail, guess what you got to do? You said, if that thou hearken unto what?
The commandments of the Lord thy God.
It said unto the commandments of the Lord thy God. So for us to be above all these nations right here, we got to keep the commandments of God. Keep going.
Which I command thee.
Which I command thee this day. Keep going.
To observe and to do them.
So guess what? So we broke the commandments of God, it switched. Now jump down to Deuteronomy 28, verse 44.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 44.
So you see what we doing. You see the condition that we going through. We must doing something wrong, y'all. We not keeping the commandments of God. Keep going.
He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him.
What did it say again?
He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him.
He said, he shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. We don't know a lot of black banks out here. They lend it to other nations. I don't know none.
That's why all the checking to cash is in the hood.
Yep.
Checking to cash, ACE.
Yep. ACE.
All that. Man, you go to Carterville, see you see an ACE out there.
You ain't gonna see none of that. It said, he shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. Keep going.
He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
And that's a problem. It said, he shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. And guess what, man? We just walking around here, man. We is subject to these other nations because of our disobedience. It's a reason why they the head, because we disobeyed God. Right. Now read, this is it.
All praise to the Most High. Give me Exodus 21. See, it's a reason why Laban, which was metaphorically the state, felt like, man, them my children, man. Them daughters right there, your wife, them my daughters. I own them. And like you said, we used to be masters, but it's a flip. It's a flip now. Exodus 21, read verse 1. Go ahead.
I'll put my battery in.
Now go ahead.
The book of Exodus, chapter 21, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them.
He said, these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them. Go ahead.
If thou buy an Hebrew servant.
Now, did Esau get some Hebrew servants? Did the other nations get Hebrew servants? Yeah. Go ahead.
6 years he shall serve.
He said 6 years he gonna serve. Go ahead.
And in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing.
Did they let her go after 6 years? Kyle just said he gonna pull the worst of the heathen. They gonna use certain portions of the scriptures that benefit them and dismiss the other. It's the worst of the heathen, right? So it flipped. We broke the commandment, so he done made them the master. We Hebrew serve. He said 6 years, yeah, you can serve. 7 years, you go out free. We just reading this for context. But go here, verse 3.
Verse 3. If he came in by himself.
The scriptures say if he came in by himself, go ahead.
He shall go out by himself.
He said go out by himself. Go ahead.
If he were married.
If he was married, go ahead.
Then his wife shall go out with him.
He said then his wife, she going to go out with him when he go out free. Go ahead, verse 4.
If his master have given him a wife.
Stop right there. Every brother in here that's married, man, the state gave you your wife. But no, brother, I met her at the club. He didn't give me. No, the state gave you your wife. When you got off them slave ships, it was unlawful for you to get married or have any covenant pre-Civil War. Even if a brother got a ketubah right now, whether in class or online, even if you got a ketubah right now, it was unlawful for you to have a covenant.
Gotcha.
So the scripture say if his master have given him a wife, go ahead.
And she have borne him sons or daughters.
And she born him sons or daughters, go ahead.
The wife and her children shall be her master.
So the wife and the children is what?
Shall be her master.
Man, the wife and them children belong to the state. How do we know this? How do we know this? Let me ask a brother a question. Shakar, let me ask you a question. I'm asking Shakar. Man, the children and the wife belong to the state. All right, I ain't gonna talk about your children. I'm just gonna ask you a question as an analogy. This is how you know that them women and them children belong to the state. Your neighbor, whether it's beside you across the street, you gonna pay their property taxes this year? Just say that, I can't hear you. No, you ain't gonna pay their property taxes? Why? Their property taxes. Why? Because it ain't yours, right? Man, you ain't gonna pay for nothing that ain't yours. Men, you leave that woman, the state gonna give her shelter, gonna give her food, gonna give her health care. Why? Because she hears, and them children hears too. Read verse 4 from the top.
Confused.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 21, verse 4.
Go ahead.
If his master have given him a wife.
If his master have given him a wife.
And she have borne him sons or daughters.
She done gave him sons and daughters in this land. He done let you get married now. You got sons and daughters in this land. Go ahead.
The wife and her children shall be her master.
The wife and the children belong to the master, man. They belong to the state, man. That's the reason why Laban, metaphorically speaking, was the state. When Jacob got done talking about all that stuff he went through with Laban, he said, man, them my daughters. Them my children. And everything you got, they mine too. Drop that, give me 1 Kings chapter 20. And matter of fact, even the man ain't free, because after he get done taking care of his possessions, because like we said, ain't nobody going to pay for none that ain't there. I ain't going to pay your car, no why. That ain't my car. That's the same thing with the state. They going to pay for them because they theirs. So when you look at these things, man, there is no getting around us being state property. We state property since the point that we got on this land, and the man ain't even free. Because once he get done taking care of his property, which came out of your loins, the women and them children, man, he gonna let you know I own you too. Put their child support on him. And his slave, that woman, she gonna turn around and say, master, I'm mad at him. He don't want me no more. And she gonna go to him, and he gonna help him and show he ain't free either, baby. I got him too. We gonna put him on some child support. You still, all of us state property, man. That's how the heathen feel. This is why they always in your business. Man, you ain't gotta work with them. They can live next door, down the street, but they always in your business because they feel like the stuff that you got is really theirs. This is the mindset of the heathen. Because we broke God's commandments. Read verse 1. 1 Kings 20, verse 1.
This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 20, verse 1.
Go ahead.
And Benadad, the king of Syria.
The king of Syria, heathen.
Gathered all his hosts together.
He gathered everybody together.
And there were 32 kings.
And it was 32 kings.
With him.
With him. So it was other kings and other nations with him. Go ahead.
And horses.
And horses.
And chariots.
And chariots.
And he went up and besieged Samaria.
He went up, he besieged Samaria and what?
And warred against it.
And he warred against it. Go ahead.
And he sent messages to Ahab, king of Israel, into the city.
Man, he sent messages to Ahab, the king of Israel. Go back up, Kalon. Verse 2, yeah. He said, and he sent messages to Ahab, king of Israel. Go ahead.
Into the city.
Into the city.
And said unto him.
What did he say?
Thus saith Benadad.
He said, thus saith Benadad.
Thy silver and thy gold is mine.
He said, what?
Thy silver and thy gold is mine.
He said, your silver and your gold, that's mine. Go ahead.
Thy wives also, and thy children.
He said, your wives also, and your children. Go ahead.
Even the goodliest are mine.
Even the goodliest wives, the goodliest children, the goodliest silver, the goodliest gold. All of that is mine. This is what the heathen said. It's their mind say, all that belong to me. Go ahead, verse 4.
And the king of Israel answered and said,
what did he say?
My Lord,
O
king,
according
to thy saying.
He said, according to your saying,
I am thine.
He said, I'm thine.
And all that I have.
And all that I have. He agreed with him. He said, yeah, my gold, my silver, my children, my wives, and everything, all the goodliest, they yours. And yeah, I'm yours too. This is what he said. Read verse 5.
And the messenger came again.
And
said.
See, because I'm going to tell you something. That ain't even enough for the heathen. It ain't enough that they already own your women. It ain't enough that they already own your children. See, the heathen want more. They want more. The heathen is covetous. So after the king already told, he said, you know what, everything I got is yours. I'm yours too. Read verse 5.
Verse 5. And the messenger came again.
What did he say?
And said.
What did he say?
Thus speaketh Benadad.
He said, thus speaketh Benadad. Saying what?
Although I have sent unto thee.
He said, you know what? Although I sent unto thee.
Saying
what?
Thou shalt deliver me thy silver.
He said, although I came to you, I said, hey, give me your silver. Go ahead.
And thy gold.
And your gold.
And thy wives.
And your wives.
And thy children.
So although I said all of this, go ahead.
Yet I will send my servant unto thee tomorrow about this time.
He said, yeah, but also, now that I'm getting, it ain't enough for the heathen. I got your gold, I got your silver. You said that's mine. Your wives is mine. Your children is mine. Yet, also, I'm going to send some servants unto you tomorrow about this time. What?
And they shall search thine house.
I'm going to search your house too. Because your children and your gold and your wives ain't enough for me. I'm going to search your house. Go ahead.
And the houses of thy servants.
I'm going to search your house and I'm going to search the house of your servants. Go ahead.
And it shall be.
That
whatsoever is pleasant in thine eyes.
Man, whatsoever is pleasant in thine eyes. Whatever you like, king, and whatever your servants like, they shall what?
They shall put it in their hand.
They going to put it in their hand.
And take it away.
And they going to take it away. He's saying to you, man, you belong to the state. I want everything. And after you done humbled down and gave me all of that, I'm going to come searching the house, whatever else you like. I want that too. State property. This is the mindset of the heathen. And this is why they got to get judged for that. We're going to flip this thing a little bit. We're going to go back and we're going to show why they got to get judged for this. Give me Obadiah 1. They got to get judged for this. Because it's not enough that they already got your women. And they done brainwash them and turn the woman against the man and turn the man against the woman. That wasn't enough. It wasn't enough that they got your children. CPS coming to your house and all that kind of stuff. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. They wanted everything. Obadiah, read verse 1 and 2.
This is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 1. The vision of Obadiah.
The vision of Obadiah.
Thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom.
Thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom. Go ahead.
We have heard a rumor from the Lord.
We heard a rumor from the Lord. Go ahead.
And an ambassador is sent among the heathen.
And an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Go ahead.
Arise ye.
Arise ye.
And let us rise up against her in battle.
Let us rise up against her in battle. Go ahead, verse 2.
Behold, I have made thee small among the nations.
He said,
among the heathen.
He said, I made you small among the heathen. Go ahead.
Thou art greatly despised.
Thou art greatly despised. Jump down to verse 5.
Verse 5. It's like, if thieves came to thee. If robbers by night. How art thou cut off?
He said, how art thou cut off? Go ahead.
Would they not have stolen till they have had enough?
Would they have not stolen till they had enough? Like you said, it's not enough that they got your women. It ain't enough that they got your children. It ain't enough that they got your pockets. It ain't enough that they can come do no-knock search warrants in your house. It ain't enough that they can pull you out of your car, get all in your glove box, your armrest, your trunk, under the seat. It ain't enough. Would they have not stolen till they had enough? Go ahead.
If the grape gatherers came to thee.
If the grape gatherers came to thee, go ahead.
Would they not leave some grapes?
Would they not leave some grapes? This is where the Most High got to judge these folks. Man, they want everything is state property.
Yes, sir.
They won't even leave a little grapes. The law of the Most High said, man, you ain't supposed to glean the whole field. Leave a little bit out there, man, so the poke can walk past, snatch some up. Man, they want everything. I remember back in the world, I think I was going to like a little course or whatever the situation might be, and they was training us in this course. They said, man, if you had $100 bill on the table and a $50 bill on the table, which one would you grab? And I was like, well, I'll take the 100. You know, they said, no, wrong. You take them both, leave nothing on the table. This the mindset of these. They want everything. They want everything. A regular person be like, well, shoot, I just take this, you know. They might say, no, I want everything. I'm taking everything. So a lot of times people, they'll try to come up to us and say, well, if the Most High sent the nations against you, then there's no need for you to be mad at the fact that they came against you. Like, yes, it is. Zechariah 1. Because the Most High mad at it. He sent them, but it was certain things he didn't tell them to do. They did that on their own. They conjured that up on their own. Zechariah 1, read verse 15. And I'm reading these, you know, as far as the last portion of my section, might give a little bit of encouragement because payback is coming. Even though you belong to the state now, but it's coming back. It's coming back. Zechariah 1, read verse 15. Look how the Most High feel about the heathen, man.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 1, verse 15.
Go ahead.
And I am very sore, displeased with the heathen that are at ease.
See, the heathen at ease right now, man. They living deliciously. I was watching, like earlier, we was talking about the Medici family and stuff like this. I was looking at some of the families or whatnot, doing some research on them. And, man, these folks, man, bro, these folks live so delicious, it's not even funny. Like, you see mansions and stuff, MTV cribs and all that kind of stuff. Man, these folks living so voluptuously, if I said that right. Man, the MTV cribs houses will look like the hood. Man, these folks living in modern day, they modernized their castles. They got castles. You go inside their castle, man, it's not the old school way, the way it used to be. Man, they got it decked out, man. These folks is living good, bro. And they at ease. They at ease. Go ahead.
For I was but a little displeased.
So when he sent the nations against us, man, the Most High is telling you right here, when I sent them nations against you, man, I was a little mad. I was a little displeased. But the Most High, he not gonna turn back on his word. Once he swear by himself and say, man, look, man, y'all break my commandments, I'm going to send you here. He said, man, I was a little displeased, but once they came, I had to let that thing happen. Y'all broke the commandments. Y'all in breach of contract. He said, I was just a little displeased. Go ahead.
And they helped forward the affliction.
You see that? They went too far. They helped forward the affliction. This is the reason why you can't be upset about that. You went too far. Most I didn't tell you to do that. Feeding babies to alligators. Come on, man. Most I didn't tell you to do that. You went too far. Speaking of feeding babies to alligators, man, and killing the prophets and the saints and the children of Israel, man, the Most High gonna get that back. Last one, Revelation 16, and I'm passing. You reap what you sow. Man, that reap what you sow. Man, that's been on my mind for the last 2-3 months. Man, longer than that. And I was talking to the brother about that. And when he was saying, I was like, man, it got to be the spirit because that's been playing over and over in my mind for months now. Galatians 6 and 7, God is not mocked, reaping what you sow. So not only was I using it as a teaching point to other people, I was using it as a teaching point to myself, to humble myself. The things that I go through or the things that any one of us go through, good or bad, is because of something else that you did. It could have been something that you did just a few moments ago, or it could have been something that you did years ago that caught up to you right now. So use that to humble yourself and remember my every action. I mean, for every what's that? Every action is a reaction. So you know, use that and meditate on that, man. Revelation 16, read verse 4. So it's coming back, man. You killed the saints. Watch this.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 16, verse 4.
Go ahead.
And the third angel poured out his vial upon the rivers and fountains of water.
It said the third angel poured out his vial upon the rivers and fountains of water, and what?
And they became blood.
They became blood. Go ahead, verse 5.
And I heard the angel of the water say,
what did he say?
Thou art righteous, O Lord.
He said, thou art righteous, O Lord.
Which are,
and was,
and shall be, because thou hast judged us.
It's because you judged this thing right here. Go here, verse 6.
For they have shed the blood of saints and prophets.
They shed the blood of saints and prophets. Go ahead.
And thou hast given them blood to drink.
And he done gave them blood to drink. Go ahead.
For they are worthy.
For they are worthy. So it's gonna come a point in time where the Most High gonna turn every water to blood. He did it just in Egypt then, but every water gonna be blood, and they gonna have to drink that. They ain't gonna have nothing to drink. He's like, look, y'all ain't got nothing to drink. Here, this blood, the blood of the saints. Y'all drink that. You worthy of that. And I yield. Can't go ahead.
All praise.
Before I get to that portion, I want to ask the brothers a question. I'm kind of like a Kyle quiz. I mean, like a little quiz y'all can look up. And bring it back next Friday, most I will. What point in the Bible in the scripture did Israel ask to be state property? Let's get to the next. If you got it, what is it? That ain't what I'm looking for, but you're right though. Right. 1 Samuel 8. Because he said you're going to take your sons and you're going to take your daughters to be, confectionaries and bakers. So they actually asked to be state property. Yeah. All right, so state property, lesson called state property. So I'm going into a whole different, we all is on the same thing, you know, but sometimes we become property to our own brother. And how we become property to our own brother is by what? Usury. By usury. Which usury means illegal interest. Illegal interest. Give me Leviticus 25, verse 35. Leviticus 25, verse 35. No, I just called it out. I ain't go to
it. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 35. And if thy brother be waxen poor and fallen in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him. Yea, though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with thee.
So he said, and if thy brother be waxing poor and falling in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him, yea, though he be a stranger. So we just proved right here also that the brother of Israelite, they also gonna be a stranger, and what else?
Or a sojourner.
He said, so if their brother be waxing poor, so if he been waxing poor, he in need or something, he said, and falling in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him, so help him. And it said, send my calling. It said, yea, thou be a stranger. So he's talking about that same brother. It said, to be a stranger or sojourner, that he may live with. So he should live with you. Help him out. Keep going.
Take thou no usury of him, or increase.
It said, take thou no usury of him or increase. So it actually defined what usury is. Increase. Illegal interest. So we shouldn't be doing no usury on our people at all. It said, but fear thy God. I finished that part.
But fear thy God, that thy brother may live with thee.
But fear thy God, that thy brother may live with thee. So we got this going on in Israel today. Our people do a lot of usury with business, with money, all that type of stuff. Putting interest on anything. Just for example, like a brother lend you $20, but end of the month you need $50. That's usury. Or if a brother work for you for a period of time, just like Jacob did with Laban. He changed his wages 10 times. He worked for him 7 years for one daughter, but deceived him with Leah. Then he worked another 7 years to get Rachel. That's usury. And we do that today. Some of our people, our brothers and sisters, they work, where they expect a price, but they give them another wage. They usury. So it said, take down no user of him, or increase, but what?
But fear thy God.
He said, but fear thy God.
That thy brother may live with thee.
That thy brother may live with thee. Now get Deuteronomy 23. Start at verse 19.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 19. Thou shalt not lend upon usury to thy brother.
It said, thou shalt not lend upon usury to thy brother. Keep going.
Usury of money.
So don't use usury of money. Keep going.
Usury of victuals.
Usury of victuals.
Usury of anything that is lent upon usury.
So you shouldn't do this to your brother at all. You shouldn't bring illegal interest if you lend something to your brother. Keep going.
Verse 20. Unto a stranger thou mayest lend upon usury.
All right, they go to stranger again. It said, unto a stranger thou mayest lend upon usury. If we can't do this to our brother, so what stranger is this? We just read in Leviticus 25 that a stranger or sojourner, it said don't be user on him. So who that is? That was our brother in Leviticus 25. But it said, unto a stranger thou mayest lend upon usury. So what stranger is that? The heathen. Prove it. Give me Deuteronomy 15. Verse 3.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 15, verse 3. Of a foreigner thou mayest exact it again, but that which is thine with thy brother, thine hand shall release.
So we can use exact on our brother. We can demand something not from our brother. We can demand something from a foreigner. We can use user on a foreigner, which is a heathen. Now go back.
I did, but I messed up.
All right, 20.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 20. Unto a stranger thou mayest lend upon usury.
So who is this stranger right here? The heathen. Say unto a stranger thou mayest lend upon user. So we can add interest to user. Keep going.
But unto thy brother thou shalt not lend upon usury.
But it said, but unto thy brother thou shalt not lend upon usury. Keep going.
That the Lord thy God may bless thee in all that thou settest thine hand to in the land whither thou goest to possess it.
So guess what? Usury is a big thing to the Most High. So if we use usury, if we don't use usury, guess what? The Most High said He gonna bless our hand. So guess what? So we use usury towards our brother. Guess what? We have forgotten the Most High. We forgotten the Most High. Give me Ezekiel 22 verse 12. So we can become property to our brother and sister by lending, by usury. Now read verse 12.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 22, verse 12.
So he's talking to Israel right here. Keep going.
And thee have they taken gifts to shed blood.
He said, and thee have taken gifts to shed blood. What that sound like, y'all? Huh? It said, and thee have they taken gifts to shed blood. Yeah, bribery. I think I.S.A.A.C said it. Keep going.
Thou hast taken usury and increase.
He said, thou hast taken usury and increase. Keep going.
And thou hast greedily gained of thy neighbors by extortion.
He said what?
Thou hast greedily gain of thy neighbor by extortion.
By extortion, keep going.
And has forgotten me, saith the Lord God.
So if you use towards your brother, guess what you're doing? Or in using extortion to your brother, you have forgotten God. So we got to be real careful how we deal with our brother. If you're gonna lend to your brother, just lend him something. Don't add to it. Don't bring deception to that. Now give me Nehemiah 5. Start at verse 1.
This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 5, verse 1. And there was a great cry of the people and of their wives.
You say, and there was a great cry of the people and their wives. Keep going.
Against their brethren, the Jews.
Against who?
The Jews.
Against their brethren, the Jews. So they complain. They had something against the brother of the Jews. Our own people. Keep going.
For there were that said, we, our sons and our daughters, are many. Therefore we take up corn for them, that we may eat and live.
He said, for there were, go up, Israel. It said, for there were that said, we, our sons and our daughters are many. Therefore we take up corn for them, that we may eat and live. So if it'll show how they were trying to eat. Keep going.
Some also there were that said, we have mortgaged our lands.
So they said, we have sold our lands. Keep going.
Vineyards.
We have sold our vineyards.
And houses. That we might buy corn because of the darth.
So darth means they scarcely, they lack of some. So they famine. So they sold all this right here just to buy corn. Keep going.
There were also that said, we have borrowed money for the king's tribute, and that upon our lands and vineyards.
It said there were also that said, we have borrowed money for the king's tribute, and that upon our lands and vineyard. Keep going.
Yet now our flesh is as the flesh of our brethren.
He said, yet now our flesh is as the flesh of our brethren. And who else?
Our children.
Our children.
As their children.
As their children.
And lo, we bring into bondage our sons and our daughters to be servants.
Keep going.
And some of our daughters are brought into bondage already.
So he said some of our daughters are brought unto bondage already. So they did all these things because they were lack of something, which is food. Keep going.
Neither is it in our power to redeem them.
He said neither is in our power to redeem them. You know, back in if you read Deuteronomy 28:6, they buy me to redeem. Keep going.
For other men have our lands and vineyards.
It said, for other men have our lands and vineyard. Keep going.
And I was very angry.
So Nehemiah said, I was very angry. Keep going.
When I heard their cry and these words.
Keep going.
Then I consulted with myself, and I rebuked the nobles.
So he consulted with himself, and he rebuked who?
The nobles.
The nobles. Keep going.
And the rulers.
And the rulers.
And said unto them, ye exact usury.
He said, ye force usury. Keep going.
Every one of his brother. And I set a great assembly against thee.
So our own people use usury on our people. If you just read the verse 1, it said, go back to verse 1. It said, and there was a great cry of the people and their wives against their brethren, the Jews. So our own people did this to our own people. Go back. So he said, then I consulted with myself and I rebuked the nobles and who?
And I rebuked the nobles and rulers and said unto them, ye exact usury, every one of his brother. And I set a great assembly against them.
He said a great assembly against them. Keep going.
And I said unto them, we, after our ability, have redeemed our brethren, the Jews.
He said, and I said unto them, we, after our ability, have redeemed our brethren, the Jews. Keep going.
Which are sold unto the heathen.
Which were sold unto the heathen. Keep going.
And will ye even sell your brethren?
He said, now he asked the question, he said, and will ye even sell your brethren? Keep going.
Or should they be sold unto us?
He said, or they should be sold unto us. Keep going.
Then held they their peace and found nothing to answer.
He said, then they held their peace. They ain't had nothing to say. The usury that they was doing to their own people, man, that was wrong, man. They were using usury. Keep going.
Verse 9. Also I said, it is not good that ye do. Ought ye not to walk in the fear of our God?
He said, also I said it. It is not good that you do. My bad. Ought ye not to walk in the fear of our God? Keep going.
Because of the reproach of the heathen, our enemies.
He said, because of the reproach of the heathen, our enemies. Keep going.
I, likewise, and my brethren, and my servants, might exact of them money and corn.
So he said, I likewise and my brethren and my servants might exact of them money and corn. So he said, man, I demand them corn, I demand them money, and I demand corn. Keep going.
I pray you, let us leave off this usury.
He said, I pray you, let us leave off this usury. Stop the usury. Stop trying to gain ungodly gains. Keep going.
Restore, I pray you, to them, even this day, their lands, their vineyards, their olive yards, and their houses, also the 100th part of the money and of corn, the wine, and the oil that ye exact of them.
So he told them, man, give everything back to them. Restore everything what y'all took from them. Keep going.
Then said they, we will restore them, and will require nothing of them. So will we do as thou sayest. Then I called the priests, and took an oath of them, that they should do according to this promise.
So he said, go back up again. Go up. He said, then say they, we will restore them and will require nothing of them, so will we do as thou sayest. Then I called the priests, and they took an oath of them that they should do according to this promise. So they gave everything back to them. The reason why they took from them, because of usury. And we do that a lot in Israel today. Try to gain something from our own people. Now give me let's see what Christ say about lending. Give me Luke 6, verse 30.
The book of Luke, chapter 6, starting at verse 30. Give to every man that asketh of thee.
He said, give to every man that asketh of thee. If a brother in need, whatever he asks, man, give it to him. Keep going.
And of him that taketh away thy goods, ask them not again.
So if he take away your goods, don't ask him again. Keep going.
And as ye would that men should do to you, do ye also to them likewise.
Keep going.
For if ye love them which love you, what thank you have ye?
He said, for if ye love them which love you, what thank have ye? Keep going.
For sinners also love those that love them.
So guess what? Sinners also love the ones that love them. So it really ain't making no difference right there. Keep going.
And if ye do good to them which do good to you, what thank have ye?
He said, and if ye do good to them which do good to you, what thank have ye? What thank do you have? None. Because what?
For sinners also do even the same.
For sinners also do even the same. Keep going.
And if ye lend to them of whom ye hope to receive, what thank have ye?
He said, and if ye lend to them of whom ye hope to receive, what thank have ye? Keep going.
For sinners also lend to sinners.
Guess what? Sinners do the same thing. They lend to sinners. Keep going.
To receive as much again.
To receive as much again. Keep going.
But love ye your enemies.
But love ye your enemies. Talking about your people. Help your enemies. Love your enemies. If your enemy in need of something, guess what you got to do? You got to help them. Lend to them. Keep going.
And do good. And lend.
It said, and do good and lend. Keep going.
Hoping for nothing again.
Guess what? Even from your enemies. Hoping from nothing again. Don't hope nothing from them. Keep going.
And your reward shall be great.
He said what?
And your reward shall be great.
And your reward shall be great. Keep going.
And ye shall be the children of the highest.
It said ye shall be the children of the highest. Keep going.
For he is kind unto the unthankful and to the evil.
Guess what? He kind to the unthankful and to the evil. So guess what, man? Lend something to your enemy. He your brother. And don't hope nothing again. Now, do they mean that your enemy should, or whoever you give it to, should they? Do it mean that they shouldn't pay you back? No. Give me Sirach 29. Just don't put interest behind it. Because that's what our people do. They put interest behind what they lend. Read verse 1.
The book of Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 29, starting at verse 1. He that is merciful will lend unto his neighbor.
So he that is merciful will lend unto his neighbor. Keep going.
And he that strengtheneth his hand keepeth the commandment.
He said, and he that strengtheneth his hand keepeth the commandments. Keep going.
Lend to thy neighbor in time of his need.
So lend to thy neighbor in the time of his need. So if your brother or sister in need or something, might help him out. Keep going.
And pay thou thy neighbor again in due season.
It said, and pay thy neighbor again in due season. Keep going.
Keep thy word and deal faithfully with him.
He said, keep thy word and deal faithfully with him. Keep going.
And thou shalt always find the thing that is necessary for thee.
And thou shalt always find the thing that is necessary for thee. So guess what? That don't mean what we just read out of Christ. What we just read from Christ don't mean you don't pay him back. Keep that. If you say you're gonna pay him back, pay him back. Know what I'm saying? Just don't expect nothing. Keep going.
Many, when a thing was lent them, reckoned it to be found.
He said, many, when a thing was lent them, reckoned it to be found. Keep going.
And put them to trouble that helped them.
And put them to trouble that helped him. Keep going.
Till he hath received, he will kiss a man's hand, and for his neighbor's money, he will speak submissively.
So he'll speak submissively, man. Yeah, I need it, man. I get you. I'll pay it back to you, man. I got you, man. But guess what? When that time comes, guess what's gonna happen?
But when he shall repay, he will prolong the time.
So when the time that he supposed to pay, guess what? He gonna prolong the time. He gonna, man, this man ain't talking about that. Man ain't tripping by $5. So why you need it? If I'm tripping by $5. Keep going.
In return words of grief, and complain of the time.
And the reason why when he said when he should repay, because he said that he gonna pay something back. Keep going.
If he prevail, he shall hardly receive the half.
He said, if he prevail, he shall hardly what?
Receive the half.
Receive the half. Keep going.
And he will count as if he had found it.
He will count as if he had found it. Keep going.
If not, he had deprived him of his money.
He have deprived him of his money. Keep going.
And he hath gotten him an enemy without cause.
And this is where a lot of beef come from right here. When a brother lends something to another brother, and the brother say he gonna pay him back, and that time come, guess what? Now y'all beefing without a cause. So if you say you're gonna pay your brother back, do it. Keep your word. They would have said, keep that word. Keep going.
He paid him with cursings and railings.
So he paid him. Guess what he did? He paid him with cursing. That's how he paid him back. He cussed the man out. Man, you ain't this, you ain't that, man. Man, I ain't worrying about that, man. I ain't finna pay you that. He paying him with cursing and railing. Keep going.
And for honor, he will pay him disgrace.
And said, and for honor, he will pay him disgrace. Man, he telling everybody, man, they might trip about $5. They might broke his hell, man. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you say you're going to pay your brother back, man, do it. Keep going.
Many, therefore, have refused to lend for other men's ill dealing.
And Israel deal with this verse right here. We deal with that a lot right there. It said, many therefore have refused to lend for other men's what?
Ill dealing.
Ill dealing. Israel deal with that a lot right there. Because they passed their experience, they don't want to do it no more. They thinking about, man, I don't know, I'm hesitant. Man, they might probably get over me. But the brother over there, that asked for help, he probably actually genuine. Keep going.
Fearing to be defrauded.
Fearing to be scared to be defrauded. Keep going.
Yet have thou patience with a man in poor estate.
But it said, yet have thou patience with a man in poor estate. Keep going.
And delay not to show him mercy.
So don't put off to show him mercy. Keep going.
Help the poor for the commandment's sake.
He said, help the poor for the commandment's sake. We just read the law, right? He said, help the poor for the commandment's sake. Keep going.
And turn him not away because of his poverty.
And turn him not away because of his poverty. Keep going.
Lose thy money for thy brother thy friend.
He said, lose thy money for thy brother and thy friend. So if your brother, even though you probably had some ill dealings with your brother before, might still help the poor. Because it's something that you're going to receive. It said, lose thy money for thy brother and thy friend. Keep going.
And let it not rust under a stone to be lost.
It said, and let it not rust under a stone to be lost. Keep going.
Lay up thy treasure according to the commandments of the Most High.
It said, lay up thy treasure according to the commandments of the Most High. Keep going.
And it shall bring thee more profit than gold.
So what is more profit than gold? Eternal life. So it might help our people out here. But just when you lend something to your brother, don't use usury. You put your brother and sister in bondage. Help them. Keep going.
Shut up arms in thy storehouses.
So it says, shut up arms in thy storehouses.
And it shall deliver thee from all affliction.
So when you shut up arms in your storehouse, guess what he's going to do? He's going to deliver thee from all what?
Affliction.
All affliction. So that's my last verse. But man, don't when you lend something to your brother, man, don't put him in bondage. Don't use user. Man, if you're gonna give it to him, give it to him. You don't gotta put no other interest on it. And now you.
All praise the Most High. Beautiful lesson. I got fed. I hope y'all got fed on today. Let's take the word that we received. Even the children. Zach, you're doing a good job. All praise to the Most High for Zach. Zach is always teaching teaching our children what thus said the Most High. So all of our people, take the word that you got today and use that word on this week. You're gonna need that word this week. So I hope y'all fed and were filled with the Spirit. And even those online, thank y'all for gathering with I.S.A.A. Israelite Saints All About Christ. We thank y'all for gathering with us. Until next time, have a wonderful Sabbath day over with now, right? But should be just about. We're a part of the world you are. We bless your house. Do Godspeed. And till next time, we say, well, Akwayalia.
Maranaha.
We are I.S.A.A. about Christ. Till next time, we say, Shabbat Shalom. All praise to the Most